Hi, today I want to show you how you can publish your Despia version 3 iOS application to the App Store Connect. Now with Despia version 3, especially with our version 3 runtime, lots of things have changed for the better in how we structure your application and how that publishing process works, because now we can conditionally include certain native functionalities such as smart widgets, app clips, and share targets that will then allow you to add or remove those functionalities into your application, which was not possible before. Before, we could only include SDKs into Despia that, we can just always mandatory include, and that will not trigger a rejection by Apple if we include them without using them. But there are certain SDKs that Apple wants you to not include if you're not using them, or that they want you to include if you are using them. Now this is a little bit trickier because we programmatically have to do that on your end, so you don't have to open Xcode and do that yourself. But we have set this up now, and thanks to Despia version 3, there are now many more possibilities awaiting you when it comes to native functionalities with Despia. And today I want to show you how this new publishing process works, which gives us also a more robust system to ship new features, new native features, faster and with less hassle for you. So let's get right started with that. So as you can see in the Despia editor, I already have my application set up in here, and you'll probably see that there is a new tab here called Targets. This is what I've been talking about. Targets or native functionalities that are conditionally added. So for example, if I want to enable smart widgets, I need to enable this, and then I can go to the widget editor to configure my widget. Same with app clips. I can then go to the app clip editor and configure my app clip. And same with share into app. Now, if I enable all of those three, we need to conditionally include those packages, which will have their own bundle IDs. And when we take a look at the publishing section, you will see that we still have the core application bundle ID, and the deep link stays the same. But now all those native targets, which is how Xcode were to look at those things, are now their own packages. So they will have their bundle ID and a linked app group onto that bundle ID. So it's now broken down into multiple pieces, not just one application that will just have it in there or not. So you can add those things if you want them or leave them out, but we still suggest you to register all the bundle IDs, and I will walk you through the process. So you can register all of those with Xcode and, for example, have everything disabled here and still build the application successfully. And then when you just enable it and then build it again, it's already set up for that. Now keep in mind that when you're watching this video, we may have new packages in here, so just register all the packages and I will walk you through the process. So with that in mind, let's start with the application building process. Now inside of settings, we first need to have an iOS icon. So I will go to the icon section and I will upload my app icon. It's very important that this is 1024 by 1024, otherwise it won't work. Let's go on done. Now we can set up the splash screen. I will now go and upload my splash screen icon, and I will drag it inside of here. As you can see, we got the splash screen. Let's make it a little bit bigger. There you go. And now we have it nicely set up. Now we can do some other configurations, which I'm pretty okay with everything else. So let's just also make the light mode, the dark mode light, so that we don't have a dark and light mode in the application. And we can configure some other settings if you want, but that's it for me, so I'm fine with that. So now what we can do is we need to link it with our Apple developer account. So we want to go on Publish App, and now inside of here we can already link it with an existing Apple developer account, which I already have set up. But what I want to do is I will just link the same account that I already have set up here again. Normally you would just link it, then link it with your app ID, and that's it. It will build the application after you have registered your bundle IDs as well. but I'm assuming that you may not have this development team, this account already linked, so we'll just also go through that process together. But before we do that, let's actually link the bundle ID, because that is the thing that's most important for the application that also has changed now. So let's go to Apple Developer. So you want to go to developer.apple.com, and we will create a new bundle ID, a new app ID, and we will go on continue. And this will be type application, and we'll continue with that. So now it will load a little bit, and now I'm going to name this my app core bundle ID. Naming is important because if you have a few apps, it'll be a little bit complicated. And let's copy from this publishing panel here. If I click on publish application, right, publish app, I will get for iOS, my bundle ID. I will copy that bundle ID and I will put it right inside of here. Now, if you already have an existing bundle ID or you want to change your bundle ID to be fully branded based on your application, you can contact our support by just going to the dashboard and clicking on Get Free Expert Help, and we can do this on our end for you. For example, if you're migrating from an existing tool that already has issued a bundle ID for you and you want to move all those things over to Despia, we can help you with that process. So let's go back to Apple Developer, and now we need to enable some capabilities. We need to allow app attest, we need to allow app groups, associated domains. We will also need to go all the way down and enable push notifications, also as well as iCloud. So we want to click on iCloud, and we need to do include CloudKit support requires Xcode 6. We will do that, and we will do push notifications broadcast capability. That's everything we need. So just to summarize, what we need to enable is app test, app groups, associated domains, and iCloud. Include CloudKit support requires Xcode 6. And then the last one, push notifications, and make sure to check broadcast capability. And that is it. So now we can go on continue and register our application ID. Now, because I have a few, I will need to look up my app, and I will see this one inside of here. Just ignore them. They are not they are not the ones that we talk about in this video. So when you see XC, just ignore them. They're from another application that I built in Xcode. So they have nothing to do with this video. So let's go back to Despia, and now we need to start registering the packages, right? The first package will be the one signal target. And the cool thing about those packages is it's always the same setup. So if there's a package in your current version that is not in the video, it is the same setup. Now, in case you still need some help with that setup, please go on Get Free Expert Help and chat with us, and we will help you with the setup if you are unsure about something. But let's just walk through one package and then we'll just repeat it quickly for the other ones together. So we'll start with the one signal target. First, I need to start by registering the bundle ID for that package. So I will copy the package bundle ID. We will go back to Apple Developer. I will click on plus. We will do an app ID, and we will continue. It will be app, and we'll continue. Now I'm going to call this package for my app, and let's call this one signal package or one signal bundle for my app. And then I'll put the bundle ID in here for the one signal service. And now we need to go inside of here. We need to enable app groups for this. And because this is the push notification one, we need to go inside of here and we need to enable push notifications broadcast capability. There you go. So we go in this bundle ID, we enable app groups and push notifications broadcast capability. There you go. So we enable push notifications, and then in push notifications, we will check broadcast capability. That's everything we need. Now we need to continue and register. Now we have registered this. So let's look this up again. My app. Okay, and now we see we have this bundle ID registered. Now we need to generate an app group. So for that, we see this bundle ID here in the Despia dashboard is linked with the push app group. So let's copy the app group name, and we will now go on plus, and we will change this from registering an app ID to registering an app group, which is all the way down here. They allow access to group containers, right? And they can be related to multiple applications, but we'll just check this one, app groups, and we'll continue. Now this description will be app group for, and we'll do one signal, and then I'll just put my app name in here. Oh, we'll just do my app. Oh, I gotta, for a one signal. How do we do this? No, we can't do extra characters. So we'll do app group. We'll just call this one signal app group for my app. One signal app group for my app. You want to be very descriptive with naming, because the moment you have 5 apps and lots of bundle IDs, it'll get hard to find. So we have one signal app group for my app, and we'll now put the app group identifier inside of here that we have copied from the Despia dashboard. Let's continue and register. So now if I look up for my app here, I have my bundle IDs. I have my app groups, actually. We're under app groups. So I will see that there's this one signal app group. Just ignore this one. This is from Xcode. It has nothing to do with this that I'm showing you here. We have this one signal app group for my app. This is perfect. And then if I switch to app IDs and look the same thing up again, we will see that we have this one signal bundle ID. So now we have a one signal package bundle ID and a one signal package group ID. Now we need to make sure that this group ID is linked with the bundle ID. So for that, I'm going to go on the bundle ID for this package. And remember how we enabled app groups in the bundle ID. So we go back to capabilities, we go on the app group section, and now we see there is a button saying configure. So we click on configure, and now we are looking for our app group. I have a little bit, I have a few app groups here. So let's just look for my app, and I will take the appropriate one, which is not this one. And I will do one signal app group for my app. This is the one that we want to do. So I'll check this and I will continue. There you go. So now it's linked with the first bundle ID. So this one signal bundle for my app is linked with the app group for this one signal package for my app. It's a little bit tricky, but once you do it the first time, you'll understand it. And then we'll save this so the changes get confirmed. Now, those packages are linked, as you can see in the editor here. They are linked together, but they're also in the core bundle. So now we need to do one last thing to assign this package. We need to look up my app again, and we need to go to the core bundle ID that we have created, where all those package bundles are in, and we need to link the app group with the core bundle ID. So we go to app groups and we go to configure, and now we're linking this with the one signal app group for my app, and we'll configure and we'll save. So with the app group that we just have created for this package that was linked to the package bundle ID, we now need to link this group ID to the core application. So it's properly linked. And we'll save this and then we'll confirm. There you go. So now, when we look this up and I want to do one change, let's go on app groups. And it's a little bit annoying that Apple always removes your query, but it's just the way it is. I also want to correct this here to make sure that the name is spelled correctly, but not important for you to note down. But if you now take a look at this, what we have done is we have created an app group for the one signal package, and we have a bundle ID for the same one signal package, right? In here, one signal bundle for my app. And this one signal package, now inside of its capabilities, right, we have now linked this app group for this package with this bundle ID, as you can see down here, right? And then once those two packages for this specific capability are linked, we then go into the core bundle ID and we link this app group once again to the core application, so everything works properly, as you can see down here. So that is pretty simple once you get the hang of it, of course. But yeah, this is kind of like how we have changed the structure, so we can add more conditional SDKs, and it's easier to add to it because now all those capabilities are isolated, letting us easily add a new one on top of that, right? So this is a new nice structure, and changing that does not affect your live application. That's something worth noting as well. But there you go. So now we have the first package successfully created. Now we need to go with the next one. And the next one is a little bit different because this is an app clip, which is treated differently like every other dependency in an application. So in order to register the app clip, regardless of if you want to use it or not, we need to do a little bit of a different process. So let's now start by registering the app clip here. So we want to go on clip bundle ID, and we'll copy the app clip bundle ID, and we will now go and create a new bundle ID, a new app ID, and we'll continue. And now we have the option between app and app clip. Now, because we're registering the app clip package, we need to click on app clip. The other ones all will need to be app. The only thing that will need to be an app clip is, of course, the app clip. So we'll go and continue after we have selected app clip, and we will now select our bundle ID that will be linked with the app clip. This will be my app. That's the one that we just have created. That's my app core bundle ID. And we'll link that. And then the product name, you can't name it anything different. It needs to be clip with a capital C. It can't be anything else because this is how Despia needs to have the naming set up for the app clip to work. So it will be CLIP, clip with a capital C. Very important. That needs to be the product name. You can't change that. So let's continue with this. And now for this app clip, once it is linked to the bundle ID, we need to still enable app groups, and one more setting. We need to enable the on-demand installation, which is already set up. So it's beautiful. We don't even need to do that with now how Apple sets that up. We need to though make sure that this is enabled so this all works smooth. Now you want to edit this once your application goes live, but we'll make a separate video about that. This is enough to test it in test flight and to have a great working example. Now, if you want to go to production, you will need to set up a merchant ID so it can work on your live web application, but this will be a separate video. So the only thing we need for the app clip or app groups and on-demand install capable. Those are the two capabilities. Now the description will be, we'll call this app clip bundle for my app. There you go. And now we'll continue and we'll register this bundle ID. Now you know the drill. We now have an app group for the app clip bundle, for the app clip package. So we'll copy the app group. We will now go back to identifiers. We'll click on plus and we will register now an app group. So we will select app group all the way down here and we will continue. Now the description will be app clip app group for my app. And I will put the identifier right inside of here and we will continue with this. And now we will register this. Now we have the app group registered. So let's look up my app under app IDs. It always removes the search. This is delightful. My app, there you go. And now we have the app clip bundle for my app. And my app is not with a space, so let me just adjust the naming. Naming is important. And now we go to the app groups again. We go on configure and we will now look for my app and we will see that we have app clip app group for my app, and we will link this with the app clip bundle ID. So the app clip bundle ID links to the app clip app group. And we'll continue with this. Now it's linked, and now we will save this and confirm. Now with this being linked, we'll go back to the app IDs, look for my app. So, oops, my app, or whatever your app name is, and we will go to the core bundle ID, that is the general bundle ID, as you can see in the Despia editor, where all the packages are nested within. And we will click on this, and we will now go back to its group IDs. We will now go to its group IDs. We will go on edit, and now we'll look this up again. We will find the app clip, app group for my app, and we will add this. We will check this and add it to our core app ID. We now have two app groups linked, and those app groups, which have their own bundle IDs, then are also linked to its bundle ID. So the app group for example, the app clip will need to be linked to the app clip bundle ID and to the core app ID, which is the container of everything going on inside of the application. And we'll save this inside of here, and we'll confirm, and then we are all set for that. So now we go to the shared target, and we will copy the shared target bundle ID. It's the same process. If we add new ones of them, you already know we always have the core app ID, which will stay the same, and we will have this package in the core app ID that has its own bundle ID and its own group ID. You need to register the bundle ID with the capabilities that we will tell you that it will need. Most of the times it's always app groups. It's very rarely that it needs something else besides app groups. And then you will create an app group for this package, then go back to this package bundle ID, link it with the app group that you have just created, then go to the core application bundle ID and link that with the app group that you have just linked to the bundle ID for the package, and then this module is added to your application. So let's do the same process for the shared target. Let's copy the shared target bundle ID. Let's go on new identifier. This will be an app ID. We'll continue with app. Now it's not an app clip anymore because it's now not an app clip. So we only do app clip for app clips. The description will be, we'll do, oh, how did we name the ones before? I forgot. Let's look this up again. Too many app bundles. My app. We called it app clip bundle for my app. Perfect. So let's go on plus. Keep in mind that we have just copied it from the Despia dashboard here, the shared target bundle ID, and we will do. And as you can see, if we look this up, my app, you will see that we don't want to consider the Xcode ones. So just remember that, keep in mind that those do not exist. It's only those ones that exist, right? And the naming really helps, that if you look for them, right, like we just did, that you actually find them. Now you want to make sure that your naming is unique, so you won't find other bundle IDs that are not related to what you're doing. So just keep in mind that naming is very important, especially if you're managing multiple applications. But now let's create the app bundle, the shared target app bundle. So we'll do app ID and we'll continue. It will be type app, and we will do, after it's loading, we will go to the description, share target for share target app bundle for my app. So we'll just do a share target bundle for my app, and we'll put the bundle ID right inside of here. And then the only capability that we need is app groups, and we can skip the rest. So now we got the shared target bundle for my app. We will continue with this and register it now. So now if I look up my app, we will see that we have generated the shared target bundle for my app. Now we will copy the shared target app group. So we'll copy its app group, and we will go on plus, and we will go on app groups all the way down here. We'll continue we will go with the description. We'll do share target app group for my app. And we'll put the identifier that we have just copied from the Despia dashboard in here, and we'll continue and we'll register. There you go. So now if I look for my app, I will see that I have created this beautiful app group here where it is shared target app group for my app. Now we go back to the app IDs. We'll look up our app name again. And now we will go to the shared target bundle ID. And for the shared target bundle ID, we have just created an app group for that. So we will go to the app group capabilities, go on configure, look it up, and we will link this with, let's see, where is it? Shared target app group for my app, because this is the shared target bundle ID and we have just created the shared target app group. We now need to go into the shared target bundle ID and link it with the shared target app group so they're connected to each other. And we'll continue. And now once this is linked, we will save and confirm the save. Now we can go back to our app name. We will go to our core bundle ID that will contain everything. This is the bundle ID assigned to the application. And we will now go to app groups and we will link the one that we have just created or just linked to the package, right? So we will go on app groups, edit. I will look up my app name again, and we will now link this with shared target app group for my app, right? Because we have this shared target package that's inside of our application, and this has an app group, and we already had its bundle ID linked with its app group. Now we need to go to the core application so the connection is completed, right? Because otherwise, how would it know what bundle ID it has attached to it, right? So we will now need to take this app group, and this app group essentially is gluing the bundle ID for this application feature with the core application, right? Because otherwise, if we wouldn't link this bundle ID that's linked to the app group to the core app ID, how would Xcode know that they belong to each other, right? So the app groups are kind of like the glue putting those things together, if that makes sense. So now that we have it linked, we will go on save and we will confirm that save, right? So now we have it all nicely set up. We have them linked with each other. So as you can see, let's double check. I think I did it correctly, right? It's always worth double checking, at least once you get an Xcode build error. But yeah, you will see that we have it done successfully here, that we have, yeah, 1 enabled app group and 3 are linked. So this adds up. The math makes sense. It's mathing. Perfect. So now the last thing is the share widget, the smart widget. So let's copy this smart widget bundle ID. We will register a new identifier. This will be an app ID. We'll continue. It will be type app. We'll continue. And now I will call this smart widget bundle. So description, smart widget bundle for my app. Now you want to register all of them regardless on if you use them or not, just so it gets easier for you to manage. Now I'll put the bundle ID in here that we have copied from this package in Despia. And now what we want to do is we want to click on app groups, enable app groups, and that is essentially everything that we need for it. So we'll continue and register. Now what we want to do is we want to look up my app, and we will see that we now have this smart widget bundle for my app. So now we will copy the app group for this package bundle ID for the smart widget bundle ID. So we'll copy the app group. We'll create a new identifier. We'll select app groups. We will continue. We will now go to the description. The description will be smart widget app group for my app. So we'll have now the smart widget app group for my app. We'll put the identifier in here and we'll continue and register. There you go. So now we will go back to our app IDs. We will look up our app name, my app in my example here. And we will go on the Smart Widget Bundle ID because we have just created the Smart Widget app group. Now we go on the Smart Widget Bundle ID. That was the step that we have done before creating the app group. We will now open the Smart Widget Bundle ID. We will wait a little bit. We will go into its app groups on capabilities. We'll click on configure and we will link it with our Smart Widget app group for my app. We'll continue. So now the bundle ID for the Smart Widget is linked with the app group for the Smart Widget. So this creates the connection. So after we save this and confirm this now, we now go back to app IDs. We'll look up my app or whatever your app name is. We will find the core bundle ID because now how does this bundle ID for the widget link to the core bundle ID? Now the way we do it is we link it to the app group and then the app group will also be linked to the core bundle ID. That creates the connection, right? So we'll go to the core bundle ID for my app in this example and we'll wait a little bit. And now we will go back to the app groups and we will link this with the Smart Widget app group for my app and we'll continue. And now we'll save and now we'll confirm and now it's all nicely set up. So now once you have that done, keep in mind there may be some other groups, but it's the same process for all of them. We've repeated the same process across all of them. The only time when it is different is for the app clip. But if we will add new items inside of here, we will definitely provide documentation and guides and videos and all the needed customer support to make sure that you get it all set up 100% and correct. So there you go. Now we have it nicely linked. And we have this bundle ID. Now we need to register this with the App Store. So the next process will be going to App Store Connect. We'll create a new app. We will do a new app. We'll select iOS. We'll give it an app name. I will call my app made in Despia. I will select my primary language. I will choose my bundle ID. I got a few. So let's see, where is it? My app core bundle ID. We will link it with the core bundle ID for the app that we have just created. So we'll do, I'll do my app core bundle ID. Then this queue, this is essentially just your app name in caps. So I just do my app. It's not too important. It's just your store keeping unit, like your internal ID for your app. Usually it's your app name without any spaces in caps. And I will do just full access so my team can test and work with the application. If you don't trust your team, you can also do limited access. And we can create. And it will take a little bit. And now it will bring us to this dashboard for our application. That does take a little bit to load. Now we go to app information. And we will see this Apple ID. This is the app ID. Don't confuse this with your iCloud Apple ID. It has nothing to do with it. But this Apple ID is essentially the app ID that Apple has assigned to this application on the App Store. We'll copy this and we will go into this Despia one-click deployment panel and we see App Store app ID. We'll paste this ID right inside of here. Now, again, if I already have a development team, which you may have if you're already using Despia V2 and now you're migrating to V3, just select your development team and publish the project. If you don't already have connected a development team, I want to show you right now how you can connect a development team. But if you already have, now the last thing for you to do is select your development team and click Publish Project. And lean back, relax, and let us build your application. Within 20 to 30 minutes, it will be all on the App Store as a draft, so don't worry, it will not be published fully on the App Store. It won't be public, but it will be on test flight, so you can test it on your iPhone that is linked to your developer Apple ID. And also all of your team members will also be able to test it. And from there, you'll also be able to create a public testing link for test flight so that all your beta users and early access users can test your application as well. So with that being said, again, I would just click on Publish App because I already have a development team. But let's say you don't have a development team. You would now go on Add New Developer Account, and we would now link it. The way we do this is we go back to Apple Developer. We will go on Users and Access, and then from Users and Access, we will go to integration. So let's go on users and access. We'll go to integrations. And now inside of here, there may be a button saying Enable App Store Connect API. You want to click on Enable, and you want to check all the, I've read the terms and service, and then you'll go to this dashboard here. So what I now want to do is I want to copy the issuer ID, and we will put the issuer ID inside of here. We have account issuer ID. We'll link this. Now we need the development team. The fun thing about this is Apple doesn't give us the development team on appstoreconnect.apple.com. So we will need to go to developer.apple.com, and you see your business name here, and next to it, you will get your team ID. It's a little bit set up that doesn't make 100% sense, but that's just how Apple deals with things. So we'll put our team ID inside of here. And now we need our API key ID. So for that, I need to create a new API key. I want to call this Despia CI/CD. That is the technology that we're using. It's a CI/CD pipeline that we run for you. So now we will do App Manager and we'll generate this. So now, once we have it, we copy the key ID. We will put the key ID right inside of here. And now the last part is downloading the key. Now make sure to keep a backup of it, because once you download it one time, you can't regenerate it or you can't get it again. So store this please in a safe location. Let's download this. And there you go. I'll just put this on my desktop. And now I'm just dragging this inside of here. Oh, and oops, I just exposed my key. I need to change it after this. Don't drag it in there. Click on it first and then drag it into it. And let's continue. Beautiful. Okay, now it's uploaded. I know we need to adjust our UI to show you like some sort of checkbox here that it actually was uploaded. But if you're unsure if it actually was uploaded, you can click on Upload API Key and you will see that your API key is in here. This is just us using upload care, and we will adjust this and move to a different vendor or add a new UI, because it has been very confusing, not just for our users but also for me. You just saw me figuring out like, did I upload it or not? So we are working on it. But now I just link it with Apple. It will take a little bit, and now as you can see, I got 2 times the same development team. The one on top will probably be the newest. So let's take the newest one. Right? So I just have created my development team. It's linked. I got it all set up. So now the last thing for me to do is click on Publish Project. It will now build the application, and it will pre-process a little bit. It can take up to 10 to 15 seconds. So we would just wait a little bit. And then as you can see, it's now publishing the application. It's in progress. It's now building the application on a real Apple M2. So on a real Mac Mini. It's powered by Apple Silicon, so it's lightning fast. It just prepared the M2 build machine, which runs like in a warehouse full of Mac Minis. It's a Mac Mini farm. And now it's building the application on Xcode. So what it does is actually quite cool. It now goes to a server farm that's full of Mac Minis. It opens remotely on that computer Xcode. It loads your project files into it. It logs in with limited scope, that is secure, into your Apple developer account, and logs in on Xcode with it, builds your application, puts all the files together, signs the application, signs the code signing, which is a pain, and we do it all automated for you, and then it submits it to the App Store, and you will essentially wake up to a push notification on your iPhone saying, hey, this application is available on Xcode. So now one thing that I want you to do while it's building, and we got to hurry up because we got to do it while it's building, not after it was built, we will need to go to Apple Developer, to App Store Connect, I apologize, and we will go to Apps again. We will go to the app that we have just created, because now we want you to be set up with Test Flight. So we will go on the Test Flight tab, and you will need to invite yourself to the Test Flight team. So it will load a little bit. There you go. We will now go on internal testing, and now I will create a group name. I will call this internal testing. I will create, and now I will invite testers. And I will invite myself and I will add. Now I got it all nice inside of here. So now I'm linked into the internal tester team. You can invite your whole team if you want, or if you want to invite your beta users, please don't invite them to the internal testing team. Get it on public beta with TestFlight, and I will show you how to do this once the build was successful. So now what we want to do is, once it's all done, we have an internal testing team. We can now lean back and wait for the build to pop up in the Apple App Store Connect. So I'll just do a little cut because it can take up to 20 to 30 minutes to build the application, because it's quite a complex process. It has to conditionally add those packages, those SDKs. It's thousands of files that have to be put together, and then it has to do the build process and do the code signing and all the stuff that usually always gets you an Xcode error. There are no Xcode errors with Despia. It just does it and it just works. That's the magic about it. So I'll just do a little cut while the computer does all the work for us, and we will check back in a second for you. So as you can see, I got great news. The build was successful. I can also see it in here. It was successfully built. So now there are a few things that we can do. We can download the IPA if you want that for any reason. And you can also go on export code and export the whole source code file anytime. So you can open this in Xcode and give it to a developer who can then tweak the whole thing if you want to. Now you don't need to. Despia is designed to completely handle all that process for you. But let's say you have a client who wants access to the source code, or you have an expert iOS developer and you need to add this feature on top of Despia that we don't have shipped yet, you can do that. This is opening up the possibilities for your team, and you get access to usable code. The code that Despia generates is actually usable and you can edit it. It's not spaghetti code. It's human readable code that is easy to edit if you want to do it that way. Now you don't have to, because if you check your email right now, you will see that you got a beautiful email from TestFlight like this, asking you to test your application in TestFlight. And now I can just go on install. I'll be installing the application here, and then we will see that the application opens inside of our phone. And you see, I will allow all the stuff, okay? And now you see we got our blank application running on our phone natively. There you go. Now we can test this internally and with our team, and you have access to all the source code if you do want to have access to it. But if we now go on App Store Connect and we go back on our application and we go on TestFlight, we will see that we have this inside of here. And if you want, you can, you can take a look at some of the test details. But the cool thing is, let's say you have a waiting list, and before you publish your application, you want your beta testers to test it out. You can create an external testing team, and let's call this external testers. You can create this, and now we can invite testers using a public link. You can also CSV import them if you want, but let's go on next. There's no limit, it's open to anyone. Okay, and now we have this link through which we can invite testers. So if I go on this link, you will see that, this is now the public TestFlight link with instructions how they can test your app. Now, this build isn't accepting any testers right now because we need to link it to it. So if we now go to builds in this external tester group, we will just select our build and we'll go on next. Now we need to fill out some information. So I will do beta description, basic app to test, no advanced features yet. Feedback email, feedback@despia.com. First name, Despia, last name HQ. Phone number, let's see if I can, I can't skip that, so let me get our phone number. let's see, I will skip that for now. I'll just do email, hey@despia.com, and then I will put my phone number in here for the business. There you go, because I'm already, let's see, let's get that going. In the meantime, we don't need to have a sign up. And now I'm just waiting to get my phone number because I don't know my phone number. Okay, there you go. 747-255-3819. That's the phone number. I would suggest you use a VoIP phone number. Don't put your personal phone number on there, because otherwise you may be getting lots of calls from people who have some feedback for you. And feedback is spelled wrong. Maybe that's why they would call you to tell you. feedback@despia.com. Let's go on next. You will say, this is just a basic test. We'll submit for review. And now we're submitting it to review. App Review will take a look at this. Unless you're doing something that's against Apple guidelines, they will more than likely approve it. And then you can go back to testers. You can copy the link, and then people can, open this link on their iPhone, and then they can download the app. It's not limited to any amount of users, so you can have millions of users test this. And then once you are satisfied with the testing process and Apple likes your application, what you can do is you can upload a bunch of screenshots for your application, add promotional text, keywords, description, all that kind of stuff. Now here comes the important thing. Add your build. You want to take the one that is the build version that your testers like. So let's select this, for example. You'll see it'll have the nice app icon, and then once you have filled out everything in here and provided some of the compliance questions, like how you're tracking users' data, how is your database structured, right? You would go on Add for Review. It will send it to the app review, and then Apple will approve or reject your application. Now, more than likely, if you set it up correctly, if your application has a purpose, you use our native SDKs, they will more than likely approve it. Now, if they don't approve it, it's always small things like, hey, don't take purchases or payments outside of the application. We want our 30% commission. Even though there was the court ruling by the United States, it only applies to certain things. For example, the thing that we have seen the most time why apps get rejected is if you take purchases using Stripe outside of the application, you can't open it as an in-app tab. You have to open it in Safari. So this is why Despia has great features and functionalities to actually help you set this up, right? So if you go to link handling, right, you can see open always in browser, and you would put this in here like checkout.stripe.com. And keep in mind, anything that you edit on this settings panel, you want to rebuild your application. So you need to publish and build it again, right? Because those changes are not remote. What is remote? Everything that you change on your web app code base. So when you change something in your web application code base, like in WeWeb, Nordcraft, Wist, Next.js, Svelte, whatever, it is immediately updated. You don't need to rebuild the application. Please don't rebuild the application for every little change that you make in the web app. Even if you implement our native add-ons like native contacts, those are using JavaScript on a Despia window object that is attached in your native mobile application. So you can add those native features without having to go through App Store's approval process. Again, and without having to rebuild the application, as Despia has updates over the air, even for native functionalities, which really is an innovation and a step up from Code Push that was, would be another way how you could build, apps like this with over-the-air updates. But the nice thing is you can update the UI remotely without having to go through Apple's approval process. Now, please don't use it for fraudulent reasons, but you do have that ability, and Apple is completely fine with that. Unless you, again, use it for fraudulent reasons, but you can do this with Swift as well and build a fraudulent application, right? So now we would imagine we updated it. Now this is the setup that would that would solve most of your rejections. If you just add checkout.stripe.com, if you want to take purchases outside, that would solve it. You will rebuild it again, and then you will publish that version to the App Store. So should Apple tell you no, you're doing Stripe purchases for your applications, for your users in the United States, in an in-app tab, this is not allowed. You need to open it in Safari, update that, publish that build again, and then you will go in here and you will go on build, right? And when you resubmit it to the App Store, you will remove the build and then select the build. It would be version 2, like build 2, for example, that then has this updated, right? And then you will resubmit it, and then App Review will allow it. Or in case they have something else to say, they say, no, when you click on a link in the application to your terms of service, it's opening it in Safari. We need this to be opening in an in-app tab. I found, after looking at dozens and dozens of apps get successfully submitted to the App Store, there's always like 2 rejections before you go into the App Store. It's usually dumb, silly things that you forgot to add. Apple is not looking for apps built in Despia and doesn't want them on the App Store. It's the opposite. They want every app on the App Store that is a high quality application and where people put effort into it. And the nice thing about Despia is we put all the effort to have amazing native functionalities in there for you, and you just write a line of JavaScript in your web application to add it, which is exactly what Apple wants. Like, having a high quality native application with all the amazing functionalities like app clips, smart widgets, everything that Apple invests millions and millions of dollars into having this available to developers who are utilizing this to the maximum extent. So don't worry about publishing, but if you get a crazy email from Apple and they don't like the way you handle links or something like this, we have helped lots and lots of users navigate through those rejections and turn a rejection into an approval. So if you have Despia, please click on contact support, in here, customer support. Tell us what Apple told you and we will tell you how to fix it, and we will assist you in the revision process, and we will make sure that your app will be on the App Store. That's my guarantee to you. You just need to be persistent. If Apple, for some reason, doesn't like the way you handle links, the way you handle payments, or sometimes they don't like the wording. For example, if you make sales promises that are kind of sketchy, like let's say you have a health tracker application and you say things like lose 70 pounds in 2 weeks, Apple may say, no, you gotta change your advertisement before you can put it on the App Store, right? So most of the times it's not a technical reason why they don't want your application. It is just a reason like, okay, this is not fair advertisement, or this should be opened in there so we don't take liability from external transactions and all those kinds of things, right? It's more like a compliance reason, and it's easy to fix. Apple allows you to do essentially unlimited appeals as long as they let your application on the App Store. And we're here to help you for as long as it needs to get it to perfection and to get it on the App Store. So don't shy away from contacting our customer support, because we're here to help you and we want your app to be on the App Store and be app of the day, and hopefully at some point app of the year. So thank you so much for your trust in Despia. Thank you so much for your time and watching this video. If you encounter any issues, please email us either at support@despia.com or use the live chat, so we already get all your configuration from the application loaded into Intercom. Oh, I just hit the microphone, sorry. Loaded into Intercom, and we can help you better because we already have all the data attached to your application, like your build history and everything like that. So we're here to help you. And yeah, thank you so much for your time, and see you on the App Store. Take care. Bye.